What's up, you guys? It's your boy Miguel giving your daily dose of radiation. In today's video, we are covering what does a perfect day in the X-ray tech world look like. So to give you context, I am a night shift X-ray tech. Been doing it for 4 years. Work a lot of overtime, so I dabble in both worlds quite a bit. So I will give you the nighttime perfect world, perfect situation, you know, if it was a good day. So essentially, we clock in at 8 p.m. As we walk in, all the machines are working right there. Check one. The longer you get into this profession, regardless of what hospital, unless like you're probably at a trauma one or your hospital just opened, majority of the hospitals have terrible equipment. My hospital where I work at, our portables are from the year 2015, some of them. Yeah, we're like 10 years behind. But anyways, so as long as they're working, it's already a good day. Now, overnight, the one thing you will always have a tiny chance of happening is software updates in both PACS or whatever software your hospital or wherever you work at uses. So if there's no updates and you don't have to go on downtime, as they call it, which offline mode, right there, it's another win right there. One of the biggest things, and I mean, it just happens every day, is as long as every single patient you shot is the right name, right, like everything was right, you didn't mess up, you didn't shoot the wrong person, you didn't shoot the wrong like body part, or if the patient questions you why you're shooting this instead of that, and you just double check and everything goes smooth before you put it online, right there, it's already a good day. Now, I know what you're saying. Some of you are like, Miguel, you're supposed to do that. Yeah, but sometimes when it gets hectic and you get stacked and there's people with so many similar names, especially the little kids, it could get kind of, and especially with the triages or the smaller rooms where the nurses are in and out, sometimes they don't update their place correctly. So you always got to double check. Extra double check on the nights that are busy, because that's the majority of the times when people start to mess up. So if that goes smoothly, fine. If the radiologist never contacts you for anything, you're doing good already, always. Okay? See, following on. If the doctors don't question you, you're already doing good. But sometimes, certain nights, depending on what's going on, more of the happens when you're going into the end of your shift, where the daytime doctors come in and they be coming in ordering stuff, and they just, you know, the same energy of, oh, okay, let's go, let's get it, come on, let's save people. And everyone's like been there working for like the past 11 hours and is dead, and be like going like turtle pace, and they're just running, gunning, ordering everything. You can just tell everyone's face is like, bro, chill. Like, you coming with too much energy. Like, calm down. Like, that's something you'll face. So usually if the afternoon towards the later in the morning shift is pretty calm, it's looking pretty good right there, because they can't order anything. Like, you're kind of in the safe zone. If we do morning ports at my hospital, there's a set amount. If you don't have any more add-ons, because at 12:30ish you'll have orders spawn in of, like, depending, we range from like up to 40 up to 20 morning portables. Usually are just chest x-rays and occasional KUBs for like placement of the tube and stuff like that. So if all those get done, you know, you were able to go to the floor, shoot it, no problem in the ER. That's good. Occasionally you'll have the add-ons. If you don't have any add-ons post run, you're looking at a pretty solid night. Now, depending on the efficiency of how much you go to the floor and how much they bother you, will all kind of depend on the flow of the hospital and who's the emergency doctor who's running the joint. So if you have a good doctor, like at our hospital, we have like 3 that are considered like the best doctors, that are more of a just order what you need, straight to business, don't be ordering extra stuff. You got like 2. So if you're blessed to work on those shifts, you already know, regardless of what else, like as long as you have a good ER doctor, everything else, like you can have like a full house, and by like 2 a.m. it's empty. They start discharging, or they start sending everyone to the floor, and you can just tell they come in running and gunning straight to business. Because other times you don't have like the best emergency doctor, and like you can just tell they maybe get overwhelmed or don't work at a good enough pace to where everyone else gets swamped and gets kind of clogged up, and then it starts stressing the nurses out, and then they start to kind of like, what will happen is you'll look at the emergency room, and then it'll be like a few of them that you'll be like, oh, they're probably going to order some chest x-rays, or they're probably going to order something. 20 minutes go by. Okay. 30 minutes go by. 40 minutes go by. Sometimes like an hour, and then just like 10 x-rays at one time. And you're just like, well, we were going to go to the floor because we were chilling, and now we got to wait. So as long as it stays steady or they're on top of their stuff, that can help you too. As far as like the nurses, it's mainly the charge nurse. If you have the right charge nurse that can kind of lead the team of the nurses, regardless of how full and busy it is, you can tell there's like a pretty smooth workflow, and it helps everyone else kind of be able to do their job. Because believe it or not, the nurses, well, ladies and nurse, they hold a good amount of the power and dictate how some of the stuff get done, because the doctor can execute the order, but it's mainly up to the nurses to do all the like grunt work, the majority of like the good amount of work, or prepping for the procedure like post reduction or the other stuff like that. They kind of hold the power on that side. So if you have like a good charge nurse that can lead the team, it can like kind of help alleviate some of the stress. And you can like literally pass by the like nurse's desk, and you can see if it's like a really busy, you can see everyone like all stressed and tense. And then if it's like that right charge nurse that can kind of like lead the ship or can kind of delegate good, like you can just tell it's like a smooth sailing regardless of how busy it is. So that's something else that could help. Depending on where you work, both the beginning and the end of their shifts, depending who comes in or who you went into. Sometimes as soon as like you clock in, depending on who your X-ray techs were, certain of them are more notorious for leaving stuff or being more, not lazy, but like at a certain type of time. We have certain techs that we've noticed historically over time. If it's 6 o'clock, you can tell they already kind of like clocked out, and it's already mentally they really don't do anything, even though their original clock out time is 8 p.m. So we see that from time to time. So like when you come in, there's going to be a lot of stuff on the floor and a lot of stuff in the emergency room, and as soon as you clock in, you're trying to play catch up. And sometimes it's fine, but other times it's like it gets annoying because like the doctor's like, hey, like you literally clock in like maybe 1 to 2 minutes, and the doctor's already, hey, where my stuff at? And you're just like, bro, I just got here, sir. Respectfully. He's like, well, it should have been done. I'm like, sir, I just got here. I don't know what's going on. Like, you talk with the day shift. Like, you know I work night shift. Like, back off. Like, sometimes that would literally happen. So, and then following the opposite, when you're getting off, certain times you'll like stack our hospital will stack the shifts to where like there's like a little gap in between, so like you'll work with a little bit of the day shift, a little bit of the night shift, so it kind of stacks depending who comes in. If like you've been really slammed and there's just a bunch of stuff on the floor, they can come in and they just start complaining, which majority of the time we as night shift don't really complain unless it's like something that's been left over like 6 o'clock 5 p.m. We'll start to complain, but other day shifts will start to complain, and you're like, well, we've been slammed. Occasionally, I would rather to like come in and I'm doing stuff, like I'll be busy doing stuff, so they can like, I could be like, oh, he wasn't able to do this or that because like he was busy working and doing stuff. Like that kind of makes me feel less bad. Depending on what I have outside of work, like if I know I don't have to go to get the kids, or it's one of those like I can stay a little bit late to clean up my thing and get a little bit extra time just to help out day shift, because certain techs like they're like, it's fine, go. Other ones are like, can you help me? And you just deal with it. So depending who runs the joint, you can kind of tell. We really don't interact with the managers that much. occasionally you'll see them more in the morning time. Sometimes in the nighttime it is really weird, and when you see them at nighttime, you know something had to happen for them to be there. So really don't interact with them. But that kind of summarizes what a good night is for the fellow X-ray tech. And I mean, can't confirm nor deny, depending on your hospital, you may or you may not get some Z's. Just putting that out there. Easier if you got two people. Just can't confirm nor deny that, but it's always something that can happen. Yeah, so it's been your boy Miguel. Hope you enjoyed this informative video. I will continue making these. It literally costs me nothing to make this, to educate the future X-ray techs or those who are curious of what we do in our profession. So like, I literally post almost every single day. These are more higher quality videos that I'm making. I'm trying to do a little bit extra on these, but if you go on my channel, literally a plethora of every single aspect of this field. Yes, been your boy Miguel. See ya on the next.